Whoa, so they just released a ton of brand new Diablo 4 in-game gameplay showcasing PvP, Helltide events, Nightmare dungeons, how the Nightmare sigils work and interact with the dungeons, and some of the effects we can expect for the dungeons, which change them up completely. Also, we have to talk about, yes, the elephant in the room, the Paragon board. The reaction to this was not so stellar. And I think part of it is because they really did not show off the glyphs whatsoever on the Paragon board, which is kind of weird. I'll get into that in just a moment as well, but they also did announce this as well, so check it out. It says, tune in to the next Diablo 4 developer update live stream. It's going to be on April 20th, featuring Riker. Of course, this is what we've been waiting for. This is going to be the post-beta report, basically answering a lot of our questions and concerns. Also, they did go on to say this as well. They said, in mid-April, we'll publish a blog on our new site that details how we'll translate player feedback into improvements for Diablo 4. On April 20th at 11 a.m. PDT, members of the Diablo 4 team, accompanied by a special guest host Riker, will return for the next Diablo 4 developer update live stream. We'll further elaborate on our planned improvements. We'll also delve into the flames and share additional details about the in-game systems. But that's not all. Apparently, we're going to be getting another video as well. You might have missed this detail right here. It says, enjoy this video and hungry for more. Our next Inside the Game Developer video will focus on class customization and will be released in later April. So a bunch of stuff forthcoming here in April. I have you guys covered. I'm going to break it all down if you do miss it. So be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. And also, if you are subscribed, turn on the bell notification icon. By all means, definitely do that. Now, we have got to talk about what is going on in this gameplay that you are seeing in the background. First and foremost, we've got to talk about the elephant in the room. That is the Paragon board. Now, of course, if you don't know what this is, once you hit max level in Diablo 4, you'll gain access to this, and you'll be able to continue onward and upgrade your skills. But people were noticing that a lot of the nodes were just like +5 to dexterity, strength, intelligence. And that's basically all the board was, as they highlighted over everything. Everyone was like, that sounds boring. Like, please tell me that is not all you do here with the Paragon board. So I have some details about that because I kind of barely touched base on glyphs. They didn't give exact examples as to what you can do with glyphs. But on that Paragon board, you'll be able to unlock glyphs, which will be influenced by what you have unlocked around those glyphs, and it will reach outward through the Paragon board. And you can also upgrade these glyphs. Here are some examples right here. You can have magic glyphs, excuse me. You can have like exploit and then conqueror glyphs, and you can unlock these and level them up as you go. An example of a glyph here is for every 10 dexterity purchased within range, you deal 13.5% increased damage to vulnerable targets, grants 40% bonus to all nodes within range. So you can see how powerful these glyphs can be and how much they can actually influence your character build. And that's the one particular area that is kind of cool about the Paragon board. Although a lot of it, the majority of the Paragon board with just putting +5 into everything, I would hope they would be a bit more creative than that, but the creativity lies in with the glyphs. So you can also attach to other Paragon boards and rotate and that sort of thing. Now, also let's keep going and talk about Helltide events. So Helltide areas will be opening up at the in-game after a certain point in the story, but I love this, how the sky darkens and the rivers run red in these areas. Now, monsters are going to be more powerful here. And you'll get a special shard, or special shards, plural, which you can take to purchase big rewards through these unique stashes that are found in Helltide. So apparently there's some really cool gear in Helltide events. And yeah, you're going to want to be at your A game because these monsters are no pushover. Now, also, we got to talk about PvP. The Field of Hatred is going to be the PvP areas that you will be roaming into, and it's going to be a region that you will be facing off against other actual human players. Now, you'll be able to collect shards here, but before you can take the shard back to the specific vendor, you first have to purify that shard. And by doing that, by going through this purification process, you've notified all the other PvP players that I have a shard, I'm purifying it, and they will want to take that from you. So it's going to be a very big challenge to get out of the area alive with the shard. And also, you can apparently lose certain items during PvP. I don't know exactly what items you can lose, but I feel like they want a little bit of like Dark Souls PvP in their Diablo 4 experience. That's what I'm gathering from this. But yeah, once you purify your shard, head back to the vendor and you can buy all sorts of really unique gear and cosmetics as well. Now, I really love that they showcase the Tree of Whispers. It looks really, really cool. We've seen some artwork of it, but we haven't really seen it on showcase like this. You'll be serving bounties for the tree and returning with different rewards and items to give to the tree, and the tree will then offer you something very unique. As you can see here, here's some examples what the tree can actually give you. But this is definitely tied into the in-game system. But my question is, which in-game system is going to be like the go-to? Is it going to be the PvP? That's where a lot of players might not want to do PvP, so I'm kind of concerned about how the in-game system is going to be spread out, I guess you would say. Now, you guys probably already heard about capstone dungeons. They did touch base about that being your gateway to the next world tier after you finish the campaign. You'll be getting better loot and gear as you go up through the world tiers, of course, but those capstone dungeons will be there to try to stop you advancing to the next world tier. They also highlighted some of the dungeon rewards as well related to Codex of Power and obtaining unique aspects from dungeons to power up gear and skills. They did speak about Nightmare Sigils, by the way, which can really open up the dungeon experience. But these Nightmare dungeons will then have unique effects to them, such as the Hellgate they showed on display, which can spawn in otherworldly enemies that are not native to that dungeon. I thought that was pretty cool. And it looks like these dungeons are not going to be a joke at all. You're going to want to potentially bring some friends with you when you go through these Nightmare dungeons. They did not say that the actual layout of the dungeon would change or anything like that, which to me is kind of a bummer, but there's going to be 120 plus dungeons in this game that you can actually activate and turn into Nightmare dungeons. So I'm kind of curious to see how diversified this will be, or if it's going to end up being very redundant. Like, I'm over this. So that's kind of the concern. At least I guess we have the 5 regions and the themes, the actual graphical theme to alleviate that somewhat. But yeah, we'll see. But yeah, you know what? It is time to get into your top comments from my most recent video, which was this one right here. Official new updates on class loadouts, early access times, and in-game loot versus shop. Check that out if you missed the global release times for, of course, Diablo 4. During early access period and for the standard edition. So let's get into what you guys had to say about this one. Jason Lowe says this: I would love to see them implement a clan bank or clan storage option so you can share the items, gem, and gold you find within your clan. Now that would be pretty cool, as long as no one can like steal your stuff. Can you imagine the ultimate heist? All right, now we have this one. I'm a dude playing a dude, who says when you unlock a transmog, say for Barbarian, it's shareable between all classes. All the same transmogs were unlocked on all playable classes. The armor just looks different between the classes, which is very cool. Legendaries unlocked on, say, Barb, gets unlocked on Sorcerer, and looks different, but it will be a legendary transmog. The more you know. That is actually very cool to know. Logan says this right here: I got the Ultimate Edition just for the early release because then it falls on my days off so I can enjoy it at my own pace. That's what I've been hearing. That's the #1 reason I've been hearing you guys are going after the Ultimate or Deluxe Edition of the game. It totally makes sense as well. Then we have Fade Pro 56 who says this: OWG, my dude, loving the new vid as always. You got a knack for sharing your insights while keeping it real and unbiased. Can't wait to see what you've got coming up next, bro. Keep them coming. I got you guys covered. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate that one. Yes, I'm trying my best to get you guys the news as fast as possible, but also make the videos enjoyable. I hope I'm doing a good job, and thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned here for more Diablo 4 news and updates, and yes, open world gaming goodness, and I will see you all next time. Take care.